Hey everyone, it's Liz and welcome to another video. So I don't want to make this way too long because I do plan on posting my June flip through this coming weekend, so probably either the 5th or 6th of July, I haven't decided yet. But I wanted to hop on here and do a mid-year Techokagi of all of the books that I'm taking into July. So I'm gonna try and not be long-winded with this, but we'll see what happens. So this is my bullet journal that I started in April, and obviously we are still taking her into July with us. I think by July I will be on page like 106, something like that. So we have honestly like gotten through quite a chunk of this, and I'm super happy. So my bullet journal started off being like kind of like the micro blurbing memory keeping type thing, and once I hit this month, it turned into kind of like a time blocking weird thing. Like I had two sections of it, but what it's turned into now is my like foundation. So I use this basically to ground me in my system, and that sounds like super dramatic. I know it probably does, but my like focal point of what makes my system work is honestly my bullet journal. And it has actually started turning into kind of like a bullet journal type situation. I'll show you guys today's page. So what I'm using it for now is to kind of like track my system or like anything that I need to do in it, whether that's like backlogging or setting up for the next month, or like any ideas that I have going into another month. Literally anything about my system that's where like this is. And it's just been like really fun. It's been really fun to do it. So going into July, we're gonna do the same thing, but it's gonna look a little bit different because I'm going back to one day on a page instead of having like the first section being like this and then the second section being this, because the flipping back and forth was just too much. So going into July, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in next week's video, but it'll look a lot more like this. And I have been honestly, like I felt a little bit more successful doing this in my bullet journal. I have been able to stay on top of things for the most part, and even if there are moments where I do have to come back and like time block, or not time block, but like backlog, I have this to kind of like keep me on track. So that's the first thing that I'm taking into July. Then we have my Hemlock and Oak Minimalist Weekly, and this planner has not really been shown on my channel for a minute, and I think it was probably because I was originally like time blocking in here, but I couldn't, like, I don't know, it wasn't working for me, and I don't know why. I think at the time I was doing like my micro blurb journaling as well as time blocking, and that kind of had the same type of structure, except with my micro blurbing in my bullet journal, I was more long form journaling, and then in here I was kind of just like, I felt like it was too repetitive. So I switched this, I think at the beginning of, I don't know when I switched it to. Yeah, it was the beginning of June where I switched it to my like meal and health planner, and that has been going really well. I'll kind of show you guys what it looks like. So it's very functional. I don't necessarily plan on using like stickers or anything like that, like every now and then for sure. But I track my morning like skincare routine and evening skincare routine on the left hand side, and then this is kind of where I plan out any like house tasks or like chores and stuff that I need to do, as well as my meal logging. So I've already prepped next week. So it's very much the same. I write in that I have like work, so sometimes like those portions, like you can see here, don't really get filled out because I'm gone earlier in the morning. But for the most part, this has kind of like helped me plan out my meals. It's something that doesn't take long to fill out at all, and I honestly like really like it. It kind of just centers me on the things that I need to like keep track of, making sure that I am, you know, eating properly, which is not an issue, but I do like to track my meals a little bit more in depth now since I have my Hungry Root delivery. So it really helps me like plan out what I'm gonna eat for the week. So yeah, that's what I'm using this for. And then my planner. I'm in love with this book. I love it so much, and I'll show you guys this current week. So today is Sunday, the 29th of June. I just love it. Just to like go through it again, if you haven't watched my previous video, on the first portion I'm tracking like events or stuff like that. Sometimes I kind of like write in just like a key like moment that I had during the day if I have the space. Then I have like my running log, which is just specific tasks that I know I need to complete that day. And then I have like my reminders or just like other things like work related and stuff. What I had started doing in here, well, I'll show you guys. No, when did I start? Yeah, so I had started like doing a different layout when I first kind of like broke in this planner, where I would have the same like type of stuff on this left hand side of the page, but then I had like a super long like running log that I started doing, and it honestly just like wasn't necessary because I have a daily log for like all the random, you know, things that I may want to complete or just like what's on my mind. And I'll actually show you guys that a little bit later on in the video. But this was what my format was like throughout April and throughout May. And then I realized like I like to have some type of journaling in every book that I have, even if it's just like a micro blurb or like a daily summary, like a really quick thing. I think I just like to write. So I wasn't really feeling this whole like running log type thing here. It just, I don't know, I didn't like it. So I decided to continue splitting this right page in half, but I would write in kind of like a highlight of the day at the end of it. And I have really enjoyed doing this instead of having like that laundry list of stuff. I think like the empty space, like how much empty space I had, I felt like I needed to like fill it in with like stickers, and like this kind of bothers me. Like I just don't like it. So I have really enjoyed doing this. And then on the other side of this page, I kind of just write in like reminders or happy moments, like tracking like packages and stuff. Here I wrote one of my favorite songs that has had me in a chokehold for like a month and a half now. It's called Make It Out by Boundary Run. I love Boundary Run. I also love Hazlitt. I think those two artists are like my favorite right now and have been for a hot minute. And then like I just have like a clean task and just some like stickers and stuff that I got from a package. But yeah, this is how I'm using my planner, and I honestly I really enjoy this a lot better than the first layout that I did. Okay, next is my daily. So we hit a struggle bus like this entire month for the most part. I think I kind of like got out of it, I want to say like maybe the 19th or 20th of June. But we'll talk about that in my flip through video. We're not going to talk about it now. But what my daily has turned into is actually my like daily reflection. And I think it's really easy to kind of like do that type of journaling because you have like the little intentions portion here, and then I kind of just wanted to ignore these little like boxes here. So I just drew a little border and put like some cute little Polaroid stickers and stuff, and like that's kind of how it defines which colors I'm going to use for the day. So I've already come in and done like my intentions for today, and then in the evening I kind of just journal about if I was able to actually like achieve those intentions, if there was something that happened, or if there's like a major stressor or something like that. But this has become more of a reflective space rather than the like fun like micro blurb journaling and stuff like that in here. And I don't know if I would say that I miss this. I don't think I do, honestly, because towards the end of June and then definitely, or towards the end of like May and then definitely through all throughout June, I just was kind of like not feeling this whole micro blurbing, like finding like the perfect sticker for whatever I was talking about. Like it was just too choppy. I think I just wanted to like write, and I did not want to just like continue this because I had started it. So June looks different, but it actually like the beginning of June looks very different from this also, because I was still trying to figure out like how I wanted to use this. But this honestly has worked really well, and I do need a space where I can just reflect on the day. I think I also wanted to be more intentional about having intentions for the day, and I think like because there's already like intentions here, it just kind of like made sense. So yeah, that's what my daily has turned into. And like the funny thing about it is I feel like there's always a like problem book each month, and I think so May was my bullet journal and then June was my daily. So I'm hoping this is not like a consistent thing throughout, you know, the rest of the year. But honestly, like I was talking to my mom about it, and she was saying like, you like if there's not something that is kind of like not working for you, then you're not kind of like growing, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it made sense to me, so we're just gonna go with it. Okay, so you guys have never seen this before, but I've had this for a minute. I've done like, you know, quite a bit of stuff in here. But this is a chunky weeks notebook from Philo Planner on Instagram, if you guys know who that is. I have recently just really enjoyed the whole like, I've always loved chunky books, but I think like after having like almost 2 months in here and then just kind of figuring out like how I wanted to use it, I really like this, and I'm actually using 2 of her chunky notebooks for my system. This is the first one, and then I have a B6 chunky notebook that I'm using as well. So this started off being kind of like an everyday, or not everyday, but like an everything type thing. Wherever, like whenever I wanted to plan out like different spreads or like stuff like that, I kind of just used it for that. It didn't really have a purpose because I had so many pages in here, so it was kind of just like whatever I'm missing, like I will just, you know, do it in here. What this has turned into is my daily log, and I think it's perfect for that because it's so small. I also don't think that I will probably use the entire book as a daily log, but whenever I kind of like shift away from daily logging, if I do, I still have, you know, so many more pages to actually use. So what I do is I just come in and write the date, and then this is where I kind of just like brain dump all my tasks and things that I need to complete. I do have like a couple like micro blurbs in here about like how I'm feeling or like something like that, but that's really just to, you know, if I have the urge to like write something, or like I have just like a big, you know, moment where I'm feeling something, like I'll write it in here. And then I have like a weekly page in here where I track my system, and this was kind of just like figuring out how I wanted to do like a weekly page. I'm not 100% sure I need it, so I probably will just do like my regular daily logs, but this was just me kind of like testing out something new. So yeah, that was the weekly page for that. And then I go into like my actual days. So very, very simple. I'm using the date stickers from Randy Dot Plans, and then I kind of just draw a line when the next day starts. And it's really all it is, honestly. Like it's not anything too crazy. This is actually today. But yeah, very simple. It has really helped my like organization, especially like in my planner, because I only want to have specific things put in there, but I know that there are like a bunch of things that are on my mind. So having a daily log actually like it centers me quite a bit. All right, so this was the second chunky notebook, B6 size, just a bunch of paper. And I'm not going to show you guys inside this just yet, but I wanted to let you guys know that this is what I'm using for my main journal. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you guys have never seen this before. I have had this Bible size plotter since last year, maybe like April-ish. It's been over a year since I had this, and originally this was what I was using for my like everyday carry and stuff like that. It's empty right now. I've just kind of kept like my dividers and like stuff like that in there. But I recently upsized to an A5, so I'm gonna show you guys this, because I originally was using my Bible size just for like work and like potential like budgeting, but I never got around to it. So this really was just used for work. So I didn't really see, I didn't really find it necessary to kind of like show you guys that, because like work is boring. But I just recently got some refills from Planner Room Shop, and I am incorporating like some of my like personal stuff into here. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys this real quick. It's not gonna be long-winded, and you guys probably won't see this after this video, but I did want to show you guys real quick because it is part of my system. So yeah, I did purchase this from Atlas Stationers, and they had like a really cool like page in here, so I just taped it to a divider, and then like just slipped in like a ripped thing of their label. So that's all it is. I have like a couple sticky notes and stuff here, and then I'm using Filofax cream dividers. I really like how thin they are and that they're cream, so I have that there. And then these are the yearly like inserts from Planner Room Shop. So it's really just like writing, you know, things that I need. This is July, so I've already filled in like some stuff. I'm really just tracking like appointments and like days off and like things like that, so still very simple. Then we get to my work section, which I'll show you guys that. I actually drew in the calendar with my Sterling ink like grid inserts, but I'll just show you guys a peek of the calendar, which I really like. It's actually horizontal. But yeah, that's my work section. And then this is my like personal calendar and like mood tracker if I need it. And this is really just like if I'm at work, it'll allow me to be able to like backlog and like update my books at home. So this kind of just keeps me centered. And it's just calendars. Next section is my weeklies. So I've already removed my June weeklies. This is actually going to be starting tomorrow, but I have already like pre-planned out like some stuff, and this is where I like now write my grocery list, like anything that I need to keep track of, things that I need to buy. I don't really know if I'm going to use like the meal portion here unless I'm at work and I'm like planning what I need to, you know, make. So I might use that, and then like notes and stuff like that. So this is really just to fill the gap when I'm not at home with the rest of my books, and it's been working like really well for me. I do have like daily pages and stuff in here, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to use them for like the personal side of things or if I'm going to use them for work. So I don't know yet. But yeah, so that's what I'm using my plotter for. And honestly, like upsizing was perfect. I don't know, the Bible size was just too small for me, I think. And it had been for a while, but I just decided, you know, one, it's an investment. And while I really did like my first plotter, I will say that I kind of did not purchase the one that I wanted at the time. So this was kind of like one of the like lesser expensive options. And I don't, you know, I don't hate it. I do like it, and I might eventually start using it for something again. But I did want a bigger size. So yeah, I really like that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing the books that I am using going into July, and I will see you guys very soon with my June flip through. Bye.